Ahis lafla in cha isqueeze chastenman chaspuus talichast. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Native Wellness Institute's Power Hour. I'm going to light some smudge for us today. Oh my gosh, J.R. Cook is calling. Hey, J.R.
Hey, LoVina.
Look, everybody, it's J.R. Cook. Hey, I'm doing a Power Hour on Facebook Live. And so I'm gonna talk to you for a second while people are joining. But Jr. Cook, everybody, I've been trying to get a hold of you, Jr. I just want you to know Unity's live right now, and me and Robert and Chant and Juanita, we just all did a little Unity thing. But I just want you to know I love you, and we all prayed for you, Jr. Everybody that was on the webinar prayed for J.R. Cook and Mary Kim. And so isn't this just awesome that JR's calling me right now as JR, did you feel us all praying for you? Because we probably had 1,000 people praying for you.
Well, thank you.
That's awesome. All right, hey JR, I'll call you back. Like, be by your phone. I'll call you back in an hour, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Say bye. Hey guys, I just finished doing a little bit of team building with Unity, and I asked everybody, all the kids and all the people who were on that call, to pray for J.R. Cook. Because J.R. is one of the people that changed my life. He had the vision of creating Unity. And the first time I met him was in 1990. And 48 of us were selected to be Earth ambassadors, and we all went to San Diego, California. And I was thinking about, we're all wellness warriors because of that experience. Because for the first time in our lives, we were given the opportunity to heal. And that's where my healing journey started. That was where, for the first time in my life, I was able to talk about growing up in an alcoholic home and what that felt like. It was the first time I connected with young people that were Native American, that were the same color as me, and heard their stories about love and forgiveness. Aunt B was there with us, Harlan Macosito, Jerry Bruno, and we just, I don't know, that was, that's a blessing. I think that I was able to talk to JR, cuz he was very instrumental in my life, and he really helped me to be the best that I could be, and to know that I could make a difference in the lives of young people, even as a young person, that I could make a difference. And from that moment, I committed my life to wellness, and I was able to meet Billy Rogers when he first started the Native Wellness Institute. And the first time I met Billy Rogers, he asked me to speak at a wellness event down in Portland, and that was the first time I met Jeline too. And I was speaking about tobacco. It was a tobacco conference, and what was so crazy is that, because, and I think it's because, I was born and raised on the Colville Indian Reservation, and all of us, when I was growing up, we all chewed. Like, we all chewed from the time we could practically walk. And we all chewed Copenhagen, which I know that was super gross. now looking at it, um but that was your rites of passage, and all your big cousins made you take a chew and get sick and throw up, um and anyway, so I chewed for a long time, and it wasn't until my oldest daughter, she was probably, well, she must have been almost 4, and Willie was a baby, and he was in and out of the hospital a lot because he had RSV, he had asthma. So we were in the hospital all the time with Willie. And his dad, Dewey, was at a restaurant. He was at Denny's restaurant down in Spokane, and he was sitting at this booth, and he was listening to this pastor, and this pastor was talking to a guy, and they were talking about how they how the this guy was asking this pastor, like, how do you stay away from drugs and alcohol and sex, and or I don't know if it was sex, but anyway, for sure drugs and alcohol. And the pastor told him, I don't have the power to stay away from that stuff. I pray to God, and God is the one who gives me the strength to not do that. And he said, so after that, then Dewey came up to the hospital, and he was, and I think I said, hey, where's your can or something, and he's like, oh, I quit. And I was like, what do you mean you quit? He's like, oh, I quit chewing. And I was like, how did you quit, or what why are you quitting? And he said, and then he told me that story, and so he quit, like he quit that day. And so then I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, I don't need to do this, like, I don't want to, be a bad influence on my children. And so I prayed. I remember I was standing in mom and dad's pantry. I don't know why I was in the pantry, but I just decided that day that I was going to ask the Creator to take it away from me. And so he did. And I quit chewing that day. And that was, my son is in his 20s, so that was over 20 years ago. And it was just praying, and so that um I could stop doing that. You guys, I'm on live. People are here talking. Gonna say hi, Mom. Hi, this is Mom. They're all talking like I'm not live. Anyway, so that was, one of the things that happened in our lives, and so it was really interesting. And so, today we're talking about wellness warriors, and I think in order to be a wellness warrior, you have to be able to be willing to be vulnerable, and be willing to say that I'm weak and I can't do this by myself. And that takes a lot of courage to be able to do that. And so today, like, you can see, like, where I'm at, and this is on the Wenatchee River. A lot of our people from the Colville tribe lived on these waters. And this is just a very spiritual place, because anywhere you go, anywhere you go in Indian country, in America, in Canada, you're on indigenous lands, right? Like, you can't go anywhere in this country and not be on indigenous land. And so, I just think it's amazing that so many of our ancestors used to live off the land. They were the true wellness warriors. They were the ones who gave everything to provide for their people, to provide elk and deer and salmon. I mean, Icicle is just right up the road where our people would gather to fish and to get salmon, and we would gather in large groups, and they were warriors. Our men were warriors, and they were amazing. And I am honored to come from such a strong line of people, of indigenous people. And so when I think about a wellness warrior, wellness warriors are all around us. And and I want to, I want to know, what does it mean to be a wellness warrior? What does that mean to be a warrior? Because in a long time ago, it was hunting and fishing and gathering roots and berries. And today it's getting your education, it's eating healthy, it's exercising, it's learning your culture and your language. And so we're all in different, at a different time in our lives, and we're all growing. And but I think for me, that first step was when I was able to let down my guard and allow myself to cry and allow myself to heal. And to me, that's what being a warrior is being able to cry, and that it's okay to cry, and it's okay to feel like you can let go of your hurts and your pains. And it is, it's just a beautiful thing. And so I'm really excited that I get a chance to work with the Native Wellness Institute, because I gave up a job that I was a director of our wellness center at the Coeur d'Alene tribe, and I loved my job. I loved working with our community. I loved working with our young people. And but I wanted I wanted to help people, and I wanted to be able to open the door so that people could start their healing journey and be able to just to find their path in healing. And that's what we do at the Native Wellness Institute. We help people work through trauma. We help people understand historical trauma. Right now in our nation, with this unrest and with this, with Black Lives Matter and all that's happening in this world, there's an awakening happening. People have awakened. And it's like a fire has been lit under all of us. It's allowed us to say, we have been wronged as indigenous people. We have been wronged as Black people. We have been wronged of people of color. And so we are seeing warriors step up and fight and protest and say that it's not okay anymore. It's not okay to treat our people like this anymore. And more people are starting to realize that, as even white people. I have one of my high school friends, Eli Crone. He's posting and he's saying it's not okay. And he's making posts about white privilege. He's making posts about, this we as white people have to open up our eyes. We as white people have to realize that this is not okay. And every time I see Eli post, I like his post and I tell him, wow, that's awesome, Eli, that you're like, it's like the wool has been pulled off of your eyes, and you can see that this isn't okay. And you're a warrior. You're a warrior for being brave, to be able to say that. And there's a lot of white people who are standing up and saying this isn't okay anymore. Nike took down the Washington Redskins. They took it off of their website. Anything Washington Redskins has been taken down. I was with the the organizers of AIM with Dennis Banks. And we at when back in the 90s when I went to school at Haskell, you know, I didn't understand the mascot issue. I didn't understand why like people were upset about that. And until I went with AIM, until we went to the Kansas City Chiefs game. We went to that game and all these white people came and they were dressed in war bonnets and they had fake war paint and they were no shirts and war paint on their chest and they were all holding beer and they were drunk and they were war hooping and all of us Indians were from all nations. There were Hopis and Navajos and Apaches and Alaska Natives and Coeur d'Alenes and Colvilles and Nez Perce and Yakimas, and we were all in this roped off area. And you know, like, and it was like we had to be roped off is what, you know, is what I was thinking. Is like, why are we roped off? But it was to protect us from all these white people who were all dressed up in war hooping around us, and they were just taunting us. And I was, you know, I was only like 18 years old, 19 years old, and I remember thinking, I don't ever want my daughter or my son to be portrayed as a wild, savage, drunken Indian. I don't want that for my children. And I didn't even have children at the time, but I didn't want them to be portrayed like that. And I was at Haskell, so I was learning about the Sand Creek Massacre and about Wounded Knee and about all of these atrocities that I never learned at Lake Roosevelt High School. I never learned that our people were massacred, that our people died in boarding schools. And then I stood at these graves at Haskell of children who died there, and they never went home. Those children never went home from those boarding schools. When they said kill the Indian and save the man, Indians were killed at boarding school. And I couldn't imagine my daughter or my son being put in a boarding school away from me and being beaten. And I felt all these emotions when I was at Haskell. And I realized that we have to stand up against mascots. We have to stand up against them and not allow our children to be looked at as savages, because we're not savages. We're not wild, crazy. You know what? That's not who we are. Our people are spiritual. Our people are warriors. Our people love each other with all our hearts, and we'll stand next to each other and support each other no matter what. And that's what I felt when I was at that Kansas City Chiefs game. And I remember Dennis Banks seeing me standing there crying, and he said, LoVina, come up here and tell the people how you feel. And you know, and I just spoke from my heart, and that's how my dad and mom raised me, to speak from my heart. And I told them I didn't want my daughter to be portrayed like this. I didn't want my children in the future to be portrayed like this, that it's not okay. And then I learned from Billy Mills about the mascot issue. I learned that the scalp, the red, the blood is the Redskins. It represents the blood of our people, of their scalps. And that's what Redskins mean. And the vaginas of our women were sold for money. They gave more money for the vagina of a woman than for a man's scalp. Because as women, we reproduce. That's why they paid more money. And the heads of our ancestors were kicked like soccer balls up and down the streets of those first 13 colonies. We have to stand up as indigenous people and say, when they tore down Christopher Columbus's statue, I was so happy that it's like America is waking up. America needs to wake up. America needs to acknowledge what they did to our people. Because if they don't, then they're just going to keep pretending that it's okay to treat us like we're nothing. And our young people are the ones who have to stand up, who have to say enough is enough. Our elders have to stand up like they did at Mauna Kea. And they said, enough is enough. You're not going to destroy this mountain. Standing Rock, they stood up. And they said, water is life. And we have to stand together as indigenous people. We have to stand together. We have to lock arms with one another. And we have to fight for our children and for the future of our children, because we're all there is. Our voices have to be heard. We have people running for Congress and to be in our US Senate, our governors. We have that right now, and that is our voice. There's so many ways that we can be wellness warriors. There's so many ways that we can make a difference. But we can't make a difference by being quiet. We have to voice our opinions and say, we are strong. We are beautiful. You are beautiful with your dark skin and your black hair. And some of you have light skin, but you're still indigenous. You're still, we can't control who our parents are. We can't control what color we were born. The Creator chooses who we are, and then we have to fight the battles that are put in front of us. We have to fight those battles. And we're not going to sit down and be quiet anymore. We are going to rise up. And we are going to be the change. And we are going to do it for our ancestors, and we're going to do it for our future. That's the thing, and that's what we have to do. Just the other day, it was Billy Mills's birthday, and and every time I watch his video, he was Jim Thorpe and Billy Mills paved the way. What are you gonna do to pave a way? What are you gonna do to help your people? Tell me what you're gonna do. Tell me what you're doing in the comments. I want to hear what you're doing. How are we helping each other? The Native Wellness Institute, we're doing power hours. We've been doing these power hours for days and days and days. We had our 100th power hour the other day. And Jaylene Joseph is a warrior. Shailene Joseph is a warrior. They're on these computers and they're working day and night. That's how they're being warriors. We're doing it through the internet. And I see and I don't know, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but Takanga, she said she's being the change we all deserve to see. She's being the change that we all need to see. And we are, And Renee, she said, I'm standing up against injustice. I am quiet no longer. That's what she's saying. She's saying we are quiet no longer. And we pull as indigenous people. The thing that people don't understand is we pull from our ancestors. We pull from Mother Earth. We ask Father Sky, help us. We ask Grandfather Sun. As he wakes up in the morning, we stand before him and humbly ask him to help us, to speak through us, to lead us. We ask our grandmother Moon to help us, that these teachings are so important for us, and that's what makes us strong. But we can't help our people until we start helping ourselves. We have to do our own healing. We have to be able to heal our hurts and pains that we have. We have to be able to forgive, and we have to be able to love ourselves. Self-love is so important on your healing journey. And that's something that, you know, we have, and we have 1,000 ancestors that are standing behind us, and if you look at these trees that are behind me, those trees are our strength. Those trees are our connection. They connect us to who we are. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful to know who you are and to be strong in who you are. You know, and I tell kids all the time, look into your mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful, you're strong, you're amazing, you're healthy. Tell your body that and your body will respond to you. Your body will respond to that. Pray to your water. Pray to your food. Ask it to give you strength and guidance. You know, and in every way, in our relationships that we have with each other, in our relationships that we have with everybody around us, you know, we have to send love. We have to send love to people. And that's what helps us stay strong. That's what helps us stay happy. But we have to do our own work. I've spent my entire life healing. I've learned family constellations. I've learned how to heal intergenerational trauma. I've learned how to use my family's songs, our traditional songs, to heal. I found a husband, my husband Dwayne. He prays with me. We pray together for our children to help them. We pray for our grandchildren. We pray for our parents. I mean, I searched a long time to find a husband that would support me, that would love me for who I am. And my husband, even though we struggle and we fight, and, you know, the other day we got into kind of a big fight, and it was because I got jealous. Like, I'm 48 years old, but I still get jealous because, you know, that's human nature. But, you know, it was, I really had to go deep into myself. And why did I get jealous? Why, you know, what made me react like that? You know, but those are, you know, but I know that with the support of my husband and the support of my mom and dad and my brothers and sisters, and my Native Wellness family, my Unity family, you know, all of these people in my life, you know, people say you have to hang around people who are going to uplift you. If you hang around people who are negative, you become negative, right? If you hang around people who are positive, then you create positive. So you choose. You choose who you hang around with, who you talk to. And we all have that choice. And so we choose what's around us. And that's why when I chose to leave my job, I loved my job and I was around a lot of positivity, but I wanted to help people at a larger level. And I knew that Native Wellness was doing that. I knew that Native Wellness was helping people, and that if I was a part of this team, that I would be able to do more work. And that's what that's what and I always cry. That's how I'm always crying. It just but I cry because I'm passionate about this work. I'm passionate about healing, you know? I mean, I want to see our people rise up and be strong again. I see so many people rising up and being strong. I see so many, Deb Holland and I listen to them speak, and I mean, it's so amazing. Like, they inspire me, you know? I mean, every time I listen to somebody, like, I feel like a little kid again. Like, I'm like so in awe of who they are, and they're strong indigenous women, and they're making a difference. And so I know that I have to keep on this path so that I can help my people and help our people. And that's what pushes me. That's my motivation to just say, you know what? I'm going to get back up. You try to knock me down, I'm going to get back up, because that's what being who we are is all about. Is we have to get back up. You can't let people push you down and not get back up. You know? I mean, and we've been pushed down for far too long. We've been pushed down, we've been kicked on, we've been spit on, we've been, murdered. We've, all of that for far too long. And now we're arising, we're waking up, and we're going to, just be amazing and awesome. And I'm so excited, and I'm so excited about a new nation, a new country, a new world. It's scary right now with the COVID and everything going on with this whole pandemic, but there's an awakening happening. People have been quiet and they've been able to listen. I mean, I'm sitting out here and I can hear the birds and I can hear the river. I can hear the trees. And I'm taking the time to be quiet. How many times have you taken the time to just be quiet? To listen? To hear the Creator talk to you? To listen to His voice? To listen to your ancestors? Because they're always trying to speak to us. But sometimes we just don't take the time to stop what we're doing and listen. I took time this last couple days to stop and listen. I took time to come to the water so that I could cleanse myself, so that I could ask the water to cleanse my heart and my mind and my spirit, so that I could spend 2 days with my sister and with my mom, with our friend, to just be together. As we stood here this morning, when we prayed and we sang, we just stopped. Sometimes that's what we have to do, is just stop and just embrace the moment that we're in. And just take a deep breath. And just breathe. Just find that quietness within ourselves. What do you hear? What do you feel when you stop? Today was a beautiful day, and I got to be online with my brother Robert and Juanita and Chance, and we got on the webinar that we were on for Unity, and these earrings that you can see, and this necklace that I'm wearing. The last time I got to see my brother Robert, we were in Reno for Native Wellness training, and Robert came up. We sat down to dinner, and he said, "LoVina, here I brought you a gift," and he gifted me this necklace and these earrings, and and at the same time, I was super excited because I had a gift for him, and I had Sam Eli make him a Baby Yoda medallion, and it had a Warriors uniform because my brother Robert won 2 Nabi championships, which is a huge honor in basketball. So I gifted him that Baby Yoda medallion, and we both had these gifts that we had given each other on, and that's what connection is. I love Robert like he's my brother, like he's I'm as close to him as I am my real brother Jackson. Like we're very close. And we have connections with all of our brothers and sisters in Native Wellness, with Jean and Dawson, Chelsea, and Shailene, and and that connection is what helps us to grow. That connection is what helps us to learn. And that ability to give is so beautiful when we give from our hearts. And so it was really really awesome to see that we were both wearing these gifts that were given to us by each other, and it just that's connection, and connection is very important to everybody. Wow, there's this big thing. um so I just anyway, I just thought that was really awesome that we were able to connect with each other. And it's just connections are what help us grow, and we nurture our connections with each other. And it's awesome, it's so awesome. And so I feel really blessed today. um and I send my love and prayers to my sister Jeline. When I called her earlier, she sounded a little bit like she wasn't feeling that good. And she's probably tired because she doesn't ever rest, or well, she does rest, but the woman goes 110 miles for us to bring wellness into the world. So I want to send some love to Jeline, and just say lim lim chinchaspa us talechast. Thank you from my heart. And for all the work that you do, Jolene. You're a beautiful person. And Will, her husband, mate, he stands next to her, and they're such a beautiful role models for Indian country. And so I'm very grateful to them for everything they do for us. And and right now it's raining, so we must have caused it to rain. And rain is healing, and rain is cleansing. So I'm gonna flip you guys around, or let you guys look at the water, and I'm just gonna offer a song for you today to just be with you, to clear your heart and your mind and your spirit, to allow you to find your way and to find your purpose in life, and to just go for it. Oh, eh, oh, eh, oh, eh, oh. Oh, eh, oh, eh, Kukuts Katsiayai, and Chaspaus Talechast. So I hope you all take time today to just be with your ancestors, to call upon them to guide you and to walk with you, to eat with you, to sleep with you, to be a warrior, however that looks for you. And Jeline said today's the 111th power hour. Wow, isn't that amazing? We have been putting wellness and love into the universe, into the world for 111 hours as of today. That is awesome. It's so amazing. And you know, all of our trainers, Theta and Jean and Jeline and Will, everybody has just given so much energy and love to try to bring hope and to try to encourage our people to walk in a good way. And we're all like you guys. We struggle every day. We have our hurts and pains, and you know but we just keep going, right? We have to keep going, and we have to keep living and moving forward. We can't stop. We have to keep going for our future, for our future children, because today we are living on the prayers of our ancestors. Our ancestors prayed for us. I think about Chief Seattle's speech when he talked about that when all the white people go to sleep at night, that our people will be wandering the streets, that our ancestors will still be walking around and through this land. So many of our chiefs, Chief Joseph, Chief Seattle, Sitting Bull, Crazing Horse, Geronimo, they fought for us. They fought. They prayed. They sang. We are their prayers. We are living today because of them. So live. Don't waste your life with drugs and alcohol. Don't waste your life being angry and hurt. Allow yourself to heal so that we can make them proud. So that we can make them feel proud of us. They're with us. They're always with us. I feel my yaya. I feel my grandma. My name comes from my dad's mom, who her name was LoVina, and my mom's mom was LoVina, and they made LoVina. And so I walk with both of my grandmas behind me. I know that my name represents both sides of my family, and that I have to honor my grandmothers, my mom and dad. I honor them by the choices that I make every day. I choose to not drink. I choose to not do drugs because I love my children and my grandchildren. They've never seen me drink, and they've never seen me do drugs, and they never will. Because I am honoring the ancestors who came before me. And all of us can honor our ancestors in this way. It's a choice. We can choose to heal, or we can choose to be destructive and to go down that bad path. But either way, it's your choice. And you're the only one that has to live with it. But your choice impacts your children and your grandchildren and your great grandchildren. Your choices today impact them. So think about it, pray about it before you make those choices. Well, I know it's only been 45 minutes, but I put a lot of energy into this power hour. I'm exhausted. So I just want to say in our language, Limlem Shinchaspaus Talichast. Thank you from my heart for this day, for this hour, for this life, for all the love that you send to us every day. Limlemsh. Bye, everybody.